Alright, it's me again, Nursavan Mustura. I am going to tackle now the rights within the usufructuary. It actually goes the same with ownership and possession. However, in rights of usufructuary has a limitation. It starts within the period of the usufructuary only. As for the article here, 566, it talks about the coverage or the classifications of the rights. As to the thing and its fruits, the the usufructuary has the right to enjoy, to dispose, to sell to another the fruits of the property. As to the usufructuary itself, he may able to alienate his rights to the usufructuary, and also in usufruct, he can also recover the property of a real right. As to the advances and damages, he's also covered by the rights to reimbursed and also for the taxes and indispensable extraordinary repairs that is made by him or in an amount equal to the increase in value which the property may have acquired. As for the right of usufructuary to fruits, general rule, once you are once you have usufruct the property, therefore anything that is attached in it, you have the right to use that fruits. However, only up until the time of the usufructuary. At the end of the usufruct, you will no longer be able to enjoy the fruits within it. Preceding article here. First off, when it comes to hidden treasure, in respect to that, you're considered just a stranger. It doesn't mean that you usufruct the property and you found like a hidden treasure, you'll be able to enjoy whole of the hidden treasure. It's still the same rule. You'll be granted only of one half. Preceding article, it talks about the fruits, the natural, industrial, and civil fruits, um, which you are, which you are entitled to acquire as well. You have rights in the pending of natural industrial fruits, the fruits growing at the beginning of the usufruct, and also fruits growing at the termination of the usufruct. At the end or at the termination of the usufruct, you will no longer be able to acquire the fruits within it. Preceding article here, it talks about there are two, article 568 and 569. First one here is the list of the lands, and the second one is the civil fruits. In this one, it talks about the lease by usufructuary. That is because the rent that you will be earning or the income that you'll be earning is considered a civil fruit. So you're still entitled of that one under usufructuary. Preceding article here, the 570, where usufruct is constituted on certain rights only. Because when the usufruct is constituted on the right to receive a rent, periodical pension or interest or bonds, or securities payable by the bearer, or the right to receive benefits accruing from any business enterprises, so every payment or benefit shall be considered and distributed as civil fruit. Just like on the succeeding article, the rent that you'll be earning in a leased property is considered a civil fruit. Here, preceding article 571 is the extent of the rights of usufructuary, not only to enjoy the fruits within it, but usufructuary is generally entitled to all the benefits that the thing in usufruct can give, including any increase by accession, and also servitudes established in its favor. The reason is that the usufruct covers the entire jus fruendi and also the entire jus utendi. And as the person in usufructuary as well, you can enter in so on contracts even though you're still in a usufructuary. However, at the end or upon the termination of the usufructuary, therefore so the other contracts. Preceding article here is or the transactions by the usufructuary. Um, when it comes to transaction to usufructuary, it actually comes with respect to the thing in usufruct. You may be able to lease it or sold it to other, even without the owner's consent. Okay. Second is with respect to the right of the usufruct, because since the usufructuary is the owner of the right itself, then you may be able to alienate, pledge, or mortgage it, even by gratuitous title. Here, the preceding article, Article 573, where usufruct or on thing which gradually deteriorate. There are three. The person in usufructuary is no longer responsible for deterioration if the cause is by tear and by wear and tear. So he'll also not be required to make any repairs to it, unless otherwise it is caused by the reason of his fraud or negligence, then he is liable for the damages and for repairs. And the third one is if the deterioration is caused by fortuitous event, then he is not liable, but merely or partly asked to some minor repairs to the object. Preceding article, it is the use of rock on consumable things. The same thing with other fruits here and other object. It's just the consumable things. Next articles 575 and 576 were the use of rock on fruit-bearing trees and shrubs, because the usufructuary is given the right to make use of these dead trunks and those cut off or uprooted by accident, but he must place them with the new plants because he has the obligation here to preserve the form or substance of the property in use of rock. And of course, the usufructuary has no obligation to replace with new plants the dead trees or shrubs already existing at the beginning of the use of rock. On the second article here, the 576, where the use of rock is not responsible for dead, fallen, or uprooted trunks caused by calamity or extraordinary events. If that would be, I mean, if that would not be possible for you to, or it's not, would be, it wouldn't be too burdensome for you to replace them, then you can demand to the owner of the property itself to remove them and clear the land. But if it's not too burdensome, or if it's kind of possible to you, then the usufructuary must replace it himself. Next articles here are the 577, which will be the last one. This is the use of rock on woodland and nurseries. First, the woodland may be a copse. The woodland may be a copse, small trees that are cut on a short rotation, like that, or a thicket or growth, may consist of timber of building. And the usufructuary may fell or cut trees as the owner was in the habit of doing or in accordance with the custom of the place as the manner, the amount, and the season as well. In any case that he must not be prejudiced with the preservation of the land, then the usufructuary cannot cut down the trees other than as mentioned above unless it be for repair, in the purpose of repair and improvements, unless otherwise. When it comes to nurseries, however, the usufructuary may take the necessary thinnings in order that the remaining trees may properly grow, where nurseries are areas where the trees, shrubs, or plants are grown for transplanting or for use as stocks or for budding and grafting. But we have to note as well that under the Constitution that natural resources, which includes the forest or timber, are owned by the state. So it cannot be acquired just by usufructuary.